99% of football traders lose money in the correct score market because they're trading it the wrong way, even when they think they're doing it right. So in this video, I'm going to show you the most common correct score trading mistake, one that you might even be making without realizing, and then I'm going to show you how to fix it forever. No theory, just real trades taken directly from the betting exchange. Go grab a nice cold beer or a mezcal old-fashioned and let's get into it. So the most typical mistake that newbie correct score traders make when they're trying to trade the correct score market on the betting exchange, this is the biggest mistake that most make, and it's trying to predict the final score of the match. And I see a lot of traders build their target scores around what they think the final score of the match is going to be. And you might be thinking, well, isn't that the point? It's called the correct score market. Are we not trying to predict the final score of the match? Well, here's the thing. We have to understand what our aims are as football traders. Now, if we were trying to predict the final score of the match, then we should just have a bet and walk away. And that's absolutely fine. If you're going to have a bet, then have a bet. But if we're going to trade and have more control over our outcome and potentially win even when we get it wrong, then we're going to trade, okay? And trading is a completely different approach to having a bet. And when you're having a bet, yes, you're trying to predict the final score of the match, but it's important to understand that as traders, as football traders, you're on a football trading channel, our job is different. We don't predict outcomes, we trade price movement. That is what we're trying to do here. So let me show you what we're actually looking for as football traders on the correct score market. So we're looking for tradable correct scores. So when we're trying to pick out our correct scores before the match, you're looking for tradable correct scores. You're not necessarily looking for what you think is going to be the final score of the match. And this is where so many traders go completely wrong with their approach to trading the correct score market. And what do we mean by tradable correct scores? We're looking for scores that are likely to be passed through during the match. Now, if there is a goal scored in the match to any team, that means that the match is going to go to either 1-0 or 0-1. Okay, this is a score which is going to be passed through during the match. So you might not think that the match is actually going to finish 1-0 or 0-1. However, 1-0 or 0-1 is a very tradable correct score because the match has to pass through that score if there is a goal. Obviously not if it finishes 0-0. So anyway, look, as football traders, our aim is to make the actual final score irrelevant. And as football traders, as correct score traders, we can still profit even if the match finishes on a completely different score from what we've originally picked out. That is most likely why you're on this channel. You're on this channel not because you want to have a bet, cross your fingers and hope. It's because you want to have an advantage. It's because you want to control the outcome and control your own destiny. So anyway, let's look at this graphic. It's a correct score ladder. And as said, we're looking to trade tradable scores. Now, this is a very ideal scenario, but let's say our target score formula is 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, and 3-1. But we might believe this match is going to finish 3-2. We probably wouldn't cover the 3-2 score because obviously 3-2 still a little bit of a long shot. We would cover 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. It's 0-0, we get a goal, we're on that 1-0, we lay off the 1-0 because we're expecting further goals. It's a tradable score. That ladders us up, puts us on the 2-0. Now, depending on how this match is developing, we could lay off the 2-0 again, or we could walk away with a profit at this particular point. But let's say we lay off the 2-0. We're now on the 2-1, and depending on our read on the match, we think there's going to be further goals. We lay off the 2-1. It goes on the 3-1. We lay that off. We now land on the 3-2, and we have obviously locked in the profit that we're looking for. But keep in mind, if it didn't finish 3-2, if it finished 3-1, if it finished 2-1, if it finished even 2-0, as correct score traders, we're probably getting a chance to profit and exit from the market with that profit. That is the idea behind correct score trading. And that is why so many traders go wrong, because they might look at this and think, well, I think this match is going to finish 3-2. Let me just back the 3-2. And then they are missing out on all the trading opportunities that can happen on the tradable scores leading up to the 3-2. And just to be clear, this is just a quick example. Obviously, not every match is going to play out as idealistic as this. So the bottom line is, when you're picking out your target scores, your target score formula should cover the tradable scores, not necessarily the score that you think the match is going to finish on. So anyway, we're going to get into some real life examples of this, and we're going to show you which scores are the tradable ones. We're going to use AI to help us pick out these target scores, and we're going to use the football trading Genie to do this. Remember, this AI has been trained on everything we've just mentioned. So it's going to give us a target score formula for us to trade on, not necessarily to try and predict the final score. Oh, and it's also trained on every football trading strategy known to mankind, but that's neither here nor there right now. Let's get into some real life demonstrations where we're going to pick out some target score formulas, and we're going to show you exactly what we mean by tradable correct scores. Let's get into that right now. But before we do, if you do like this type of video, hit the like button. If you do enjoy videos like this, it will train the YouTube algorithm to give you more videos just like this, and you'll get more of these types of videos in the future, maybe more videos from this channel. Who knows? Click the like button, also hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also. Let's get into some real life trading demonstrations so you can see exactly what I mean by trading tradable correct scores.
So we're going to be trading the correct score market on this one, which is late Como against AC Milan, and it looks like a pretty big price on AC Milan, 2.5. Anyway, we're going to trade the correct score market, so we're going to run this through the correct score, through the football trading Genie to give us the target score formula for this one. And let's see what it comes up with. It's obviously going to crunch all the numbers, crunch all the recent correct scores and the timing of the goals to give us what should be the optimal target score formula. And if we just look at this, if I can scroll, yeah, 1-0 to Milan, 2-0, 1-1, 2-1 and 3-1. So pretty heavily in favour of AC Milan with this one. And yeah, anyway, let's get set up. And so we're all set up here. I've gone for a split staking approach on this one. So it's 0-1, 0-2, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. So obviously we've got 3 score lines which involve late Como getting a goal. So we are taking that into account. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. That's the target score formula from the football trading Genie. We now need to trade this match. We'll give you more updates in play. So just hit half time in this one. Como 1, AC Milan 1. So Como took an early lead, and we were up against it when, you know, the team you're not favouring takes an early lead. Going to be a potentially long match, isn't it? But anyway, look, AC Milan have levelled it right on the stroke of half time. So we still got 1-1 alive, 1-2 and 1-3. We obviously don't have much in favour of late Como. So what we will do is we will basically shift our liability on to the 1-1. Okay, so let's try and do that right now, if I can. Okay, so we went in with £100 of liability, and as it stands now, we still got that £100 of liability, but just on the 1-1. The rest of the market, our liability is down to 60. So we just need one goal to get our liability down, but also look on the AC Milan side. We've got some nice green waiting for us if AC Milan can take the lead. If they can take the lead, we're back in business on this trade. If it is late Como who score next, or we just don't get any goals, then obviously we're going to have to take some sort of loss on the chin. Let's see what happens though. It's 1-1 at half time. 57 minutes on the clock. AC Milan just taking the lead. So we are truly back in business on this one. We've obviously got 160 of green on the 2-1. We've got 480 of green on the 3-1. And those are our 2 final scores. So we've got to start to make some decisions and obviously consider cashing out. But anyway, look, we feel like AC Milan have got some momentum. And what we will do from here, we can only really take the prices that are there. So what we'll do is we will look to lower the risk on this trade even further by laying off some of the green on the 2-1. And obviously that's there waiting to be taken. And then what you'll see once that is taken, and it is almost taken, So once it is taken, you will see that our worst case scenario from this point would be if Como score another goal. It's a risk we're willing to take in this situation. That would be our worst case scenario, but it would just mean a loss of £35. Okay, our upside is much bigger. If it remains 2-1, we will land this £107 of profit. If it goes to 3-1, we have £505 of green sitting on it, which we can start to try and lock in some of it. Not all of it, of course, depending on the time that goal goes in. So anyway, it's obviously calculated risk. If there is another goal, it goes to Como, £35 loss, but it's a small loss in the grand scheme of things. And if there is another goal and it goes to AC Milan, we could improve the situation. Market suspended. We will check on this and we'll see what's going on. And just to come right back, market was suspended, but nothing was going on. So yeah, anyway, we're going to stick to the plan. It's 2-1 to AC Milan, 59 minutes on the clock. 87 minutes on the clock. AC Milan just hit the third goal. We're on the 3-1 scoreline, the scoreline that we were looking for. And so now it is time to definitely look to collect the profits. Obviously very, very late in the match. So we're going to lay it off, and also going to lay it off to potentially just leave some upside. Should there be another goal, which would put us on, well, if it's to AC Milan, you're looking at any other away win. And of course, maybe if Como can pull one back. The 3-2 has 470 on it. Okay, so obviously the cash out's offering us 384. That would lock it in across all outcomes. As it stands, we would collect the 368 if it remains 3-1. Another goal puts us up to 470. So I know which option is the one I would prefer out of the two. But anyway, that's most likely probably going to be the final goal of the game. But anyway, you saw how this trade played out. It was quite an interesting start with obviously Como taking the lead, and then heading into half time I was considering for sure going strongly against that 1-0 to Como, but anyway, that decision was taken out of my hands. It was on the 1-1. You saw what we did on the 1-1. We went to the 1-2, and you saw the position we were in. Even if we didn't get that third AC Milan goal, we still would have had a nice profit on the 2-1 either way. So yeah, played out very, very nicely, and a very nice call on the target score formula from the football trading Genie. It has played out almost textbook. So anyway, unless there is another goal, that is probably the end of the trade. It's Lake Como 1, AC Milan 3. So we got Wrexham against Nottingham Forest from the FA Cup. Wrexham at home here, Nottingham Forest away, an odds-on favourite. Run this through the football trading Genie, and it's interesting because the football trading Genie is going with the underdog on this one, and does say, yep, the bookmakers, well, obviously favouring Nottingham Forest, but here we're going to be going in favour of Wrexham. So this is going to be interesting. And if you look here at the correct score market, we've got involved split staking, and we've got some big green on scores like 2-0 to Wrexham, even 1-0 to Wrexham. So it's going to be an interesting one to trade. Let's see if it pays off. Just reached half time in this one. Look at that scoreline. Wrexham 2, Nottingham Forest 0. So I did wonder whether the Genie was thinking along the right lines with this one, but it's definitely going along the right lines, isn't it? So let's have a look at the correct score market and see what that does for our position. So 2-0 to Wrexham at half time. We did cover obviously 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, and the 0-1. So we've got 3 score lines which are actually dead as it stands. 45 minutes left of football. The only other green scoreline, if there is a further goal, is the 2-1. So another Wrexham goal completely kills this, and this is pretty much a no-brainer that we're just going to take the profit at half-time and move on. It's almost a 100% return on our entry. So yeah, and it probably will be. So let's just get that locked in. So in some ways, obviously the Genie, its forecasts tell us to back these scores. I mean, you never know, it might finish 2-0 for all we know. However, you need to keep in mind, as football traders, we need to think, well, what's going to happen next? Where does probability lead us? And probability wise, if we were to just look at over 2.5 goals, very, very strong probability. So it's like a 75% probability that we're going to get 80% probability that we're going to get another goal. And then if it goes to 3-0, we wouldn't take any profit. So most likely this is the best choice to make. Obviously, in other scenarios, if Wrexham score and make it 2-0 very late on in the match, we could lock in an even bigger profit. But as it is, inconveniently for us, they've gone 2-0 up on 39 minutes. But anyway, look, still made a very, very nice return. There was 620 worth of green on that 2-0. Some people might think, oh, well, that's not very good, is it? 620 worth of green. We're only taking 100 out of it. That's football trading, okay? If you want to have a bet, have a bet. That's absolutely fine. But here we are trading. We're never expecting to lock in 100% of that initial green. Anyway, very nice call from the Genie on this one. I doubted it. I really did doubt it at the start, but it's led us in the right direction. Wrexham 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
And so this Wrexham match was actually a very good example of looking for tradable scores. The match itself actually ended in a 3-3 draw, okay? But as you can see, by having a good target score formula filled with tradable scores, in this case, we managed to exit early, we exited at half-time, and we made a very nice profit before all the madness happened. So we made a profit even though we got it totally wrong, okay? We had a 2-0 target score as part of our target score formula. The match ended 3-3. We still made a profit, okay? This is the strength of trading the correct score market and having a good target score formula. And as said, picking out tradable scores in your formula. So anyway, look, if you're liking the look of what you see and you are interested in implementing AI into your own football trading, then the tool we're using is the Football Trading Genie. It's not just for the correct score market. There's a lot more to it. But if you want to get a full demo or further info, click the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code that's on the screen right now. This is your own AI-powered football trading assistant. Great bit of kit. Absolutely priceless as a time saver, and it can make some pretty good calls, as we just saw in that Wrexham match. I don't think I would have really gone in favour of Wrexham in that particular match. But anyway, as said, if you want to see more about it or get a demonstration, links are in the description of this video, or if it's easier, scan the QR code on the screen. Let's dive back into it right now with more examples of tradable correct scores.
So we're looking to trade this match, which is Preston against Wigan, and it's a cup match. It's an FA Cup match. Preston here, an odds-on favourite. Anyway, we've run this through the Football Trading Genie to get the target score formula that we're going to lock in. And we can see here, expecting kind of a low-scoring win in favour of Preston. So 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, and 1-1, and then 0-1 as the plan B. So anyway, we've got all set up on the correct score market. As you can see here, we're Dutching these scores, and obviously we'll trade in play. Let's see what happens. Preston against Wigan, just about to kick off. So just reached half-time. It's Preston 0, Wigan 0 at half-time. So obviously the score lines, it was swinging towards a low-scoring match, so it being 0-0 at half-time is kind of expected. We could, if we really don't like the look of it, we could pretty much get out for a scratch trade. It's the beauty of correct score trading. Anyway, I've plugged in the numbers for the XG on this one, and the XG is pretty low also. So as it stands, there's no goals overdue. The current projected match result is a draw. So look, you could decide that, hey, do you know what, this match isn't quite like how I expected, or in some ways it is actually how we expected. But you could look at this and just be like, well, do you know what, I don't want to be involved. Let me exit out for a scratch trade. But we did go into this expecting a low-scoring match. We've got 1-0 and 0-1 covered in favour of Preston or Wigan. So actually, this is probably going according to plan. We're going to stick with it. It's Preston 0, Wigan 0. We're not going to take any action right now, but we'll see how the second half develops. 75 minutes. You're not going to believe it. We've actually had a goal in this one. It's Preston 0, Wigan 1. Wigan have taken a lead just now. And if you do remember, Wigan was not the team we favoured. Wigan is the team we got the plan B on. So as it stands in this late stage, and just to show you, I want to update the XG. Well, I've updated the XG, update the correct score. So it's a very low XG. There's not really many goals overdue. So anyway, look, we're on a plan B sort of scenario. Best thing to do, we're going to lay it off. We're going to lay off all the risk, but potentially leave some upside should there be an equaliser. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to remove all risk from this, and then we'll see where we stand. And so that will put us, I mean, look, there is still profit to be taken, which is fair and would be a nice profit considering it's been a bit of a dull match. But I do believe it's worth leaving some upside. If we look at that data, it's still saying current projected match result is a draw. We're on this 1-0. If we lay it off, worst case scenario as it stands, we're either going to make £9 or we're going to break even. But if we get an equaliser, we've got some very nice green on that 1-1. So it's good to put yourselves in these positions. Let's see what happens. Preston 0, Wigan 1, 77 minutes. 96 minutes on the clock. There's been a goal. But will this goal stand? It's a big question. And it's not going to stand. Preston just equalised. It's not going to stand. And it looks like that probably the last kick of the ball. Anyway, markets just went suspended. We were looking at potentially being on that 1-1. Goal's been disallowed. And that might well be the end of the match. And yeah, the market's gone suspended. So I don't think anything's going to happen. So there was a goal. The ball was in the net. But it's not going to count. So anyway, very, very close. As you saw. I mean, you saw... Oh, that's going to be it. So yeah, Preston 0, Wigan 1 is the final score now. So that's confirmed. So anyway, look, I mean, you saw how this match developed. You saw the football trading Genie anticipated a low-scoring match. It was low-scoring. It was 0-0 at half-time. We finally got a goal. We got on the 1-0 to Wigan. Not the goal we wanted, so it's an awkward situation. We left a nice profit on that 1-1. It looked like we were going to get there in that last kick of the ball, but it wasn't to be. So we end up actually with a £9 profit. So anyway, look, it's one of those matches. It wasn't exactly a classic. We positioned ourselves nicely. We could have taken a profit when it went 1-0 to Wigan, but I still felt it was worth trying to chase that bigger profit on the 1-1. Didn't pay off this time, but the beauty of trading the correct score market, we broke even. We didn't lose anything. Or in fact, we made £9. That will definitely pay for a nice cold beer. Or at least it might in some places. Anyway, we're out on this one. It's Preston 0, Wigan 1.
So we're going to be trading this Champions League match with Sporting Lisbon against PSG. We're going to trade the correct score market, and we're going to use AI to help us trade the correct score market. So let's head over to the football trading Genie, and we're going to click straight away on the correct score trading strategy prompt. And it's going to crunch all the numbers, and it's going to tell us which team to favour and what target score formula to go for. And it's already looking interesting, actually. Just covering the 0-0. You don't see that one too often, but it's telling us to cover the 0-0 as clearly part of the plan B. Then cover the 1-1, the 0-2, 1-2, and 1-3. Anyway, let's get set up. So I got set up. As I said, we're covering the 0-0. Not something I would typically do, but anyway, maybe the AI has seen something that we haven't. So 0-0's covered, 0-2's covered, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. So it's going to be an interesting one. All in favour of PSG. We'll give you more updates in play. So half time, Sporting Lisbon 0, PSG 0. So this 0-0 plan B that we've got is actually going to come in useful. Now you might think, well, if it's 0-0, why not just let it run? And you've got £400 of green on that 0-0. Well, we're much more likely to get a goal than not, okay, probability-wise. So, and we don't have 1-0 or 0-1 covered. So what we're going to do is we will use some of that green, okay? This is what the plan B is all about. The plan B is not necessarily to profit, okay, just to be clear. The plan B is to help you minimize your potential losses. So what we're going to do is we will lay off the 0-0, put it down to 0. All that green is going to go down to 0 on that 0-0, okay? If this match finishes 0-0, we're going to break even. But if we get a goal, then we've got our risk down on the trade, down to a mere £45. And then we still got these green score lines alive, especially if PSG take the lead, which we're still fully expecting in this one. So that's the plan, okay? That's the plan. Let's see what happens in the second half. It's Lisbon 0, PSG 0. Well, that was very, very quick. It went Sporting Lisbon 1, PSG 0 on 74 minutes. From the looks of it, it's just gone to 1-1. So I was trying to set up to record everything. The market went suspended anyway. It does look like it's a PSG goal. Now, anyway, what I was going to say when it was 1-0 to Lisbon was I was going to say we're not going to make any movement anyway because we're on a 1-0. It's down to £45 loss. We don't have 2-0 covered, but I'm very willing to just accept that loss and take it on the chin if we do not get this one right, okay, if we don't land on a target score. So we've minimized the potential loss on this one. Now, anyway, from the looks of it, we're going to swing onto the 1-1, but we're waiting for confirmation. And you know how it is with VAR these days. It could be a bit of a long wait. So we will be right back on this. It's Sporting Lisbon 1, PSG 1, apparently. Okay, goal confirmed. It is Sporting Lisbon 1, PSG 1. So we've got £45 worth of risk in the market. We're going to remove that risk at the very, very minimum. So we're going to lay that off on the 1-1, and you're going to see how that looks now. So we've now got 112 worth of green on the 1-1. We've got 200 on the 1-2 and then 300 on the 1-3. So a nice little ladder if we can get it. Obviously, time is up against us. So you've got a few options at this time as a correct score trader. There's always options. That's the good thing about it. So we could cash out and lock it in, but I don't see any reason to do that because we've got bigger green potentially sitting on the 1-2. We do have to consider that Lisbon, and they've been looking good, if they score, we're going to end up break even. It's not like we're going to take a loss, but we will end up breaking even. And considering we put a lot of hard work into this, we should at least put ourselves in a position where we can make some sort of profit if it is Lisbon to score. So I will lay off some of this, some of the profit we have on the 1-1. And this is what we call profit distribution. You're going to decide where the profits are going to land. So we could even lay off a little bit more. We want to try and maybe have a little bit more upside if Lisbon do nick it. But yeah, let's just get that in the market. And we're going to end up £53 if it remains 1-1. But we got some bigger green on the PSG win, potential bigger green on the Lisbon win also. Let's see what happens. 82 minutes, 91 minutes on the clock. There's been a late goal in this one. It's not quite gone the way that we wanted. As you know, we had big green, 275 of green on that PSG 2-1. It's Sporting Lisbon who have nicked this, and we're going to collect £75 of profit. But hey, it's still a profit. And the most important part of this clip, the most important takeaway is that, remember, this 2-1 to Lisbon was not one of our target scores. Okay, that is the most important takeaway when you think about correct score trading, is that we're trading as the match develops. We've called this wrong. We've got this totally wrong. We went in favour of PSG, or rather, the football trading Genie called it wrong. We swung this in favour of PSG. It's going to end up, at the moment anyway, looking like a Sporting Lisbon win at 2-1, and we're still going to make a profit. So that's the beauty of the correct score market. So anyway, we're out on this one. Sporting Lisbon 2, PSG 1, but we've made a profit even though we called it wrong. And so that match is definitely a good example of the strength of correct score trading. So as we spoke about right at the start of this video, if we're picking out our target scores, I mean, it would have been very natural to go in favour of PSG. They are the European champions. You would expect a PSG win. Now, we went in favour of the PSG win. However, thanks to our target score formula, we managed to profit even though we got it completely wrong. I mean, Sporting Lisbon won the match 2-1. We got it completely wrong. If you were having a bet on that, then you would be losing your bet. But as a correct score trader, you saw that we turned it around and we made a pretty nice profit. And interestingly, the 0-0 being part of the target score formula, not something I would have picked out myself, but obviously AI, as I said, saw something we didn't and decided to go with covering the 0-0, which was very, very useful for us in the end. So anyway, look, if you're liking a look at this, then the AI-powered football trading assistant, Football Trading Genie, is there for you, okay? It can find strategies for every market and every match. This is your own AI-powered football trading assistant. If you want to learn more about it or get a demo or just get your hands on it right away, click the link in the description. There are some links for you to check out, or just scan the QR code. Scan the QR code and you can get a demo. As you've seen, it's a great bit of kit. It's absolutely priceless as a time saver. We all know AI is the future, and the sooner you start trading football with AI, the better. Don't be left behind. So as said, scan the QR code that's on the screen, or there are links in the description of this video. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. There are plenty more videos where this one came from, and the video on the screen right now should be a very, very good one for you to watch that you might not have seen yet. So go click on that video, go grab a nice cold beer, and I will see you in the next video.